Yesterday, Squid Game made quite a splash on social media by sharing some sensitive information publicly. That's what brings me here today. After pondering for a day, I finally pieced together what I had misunderstood lately, and it all finally makes sense. Are you curious about the fates of each player in Squid Game Season 3, and how about finding out who will win all the games? Well, you're in for a treat. In this video, I'll break down the destinies of the main characters, explore some engaging side stories, and highlight specific hidden moments from the two trailers that you and I totally overlooked. If this is your first time here, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Let's begin with what Squid Game shared on their X account yesterday. 8 promotional images were shared, each featuring a major character from Season 3. Notably, each of these posters has a uniquely compelling caption that feels like a bait message intended to entice us with hints about the player's fates in Season 3. Additionally, every poster features its character set against a distinct artistic backdrop, which, in my opinion, is a subtle yet important detail. And in this video, I'll explain just how important these backgrounds really are. Now, many fans have already came up with theories on these images, and I noticed many think these 7 players are truly the finalists of the games, but hold on to your pants, folks. These players are the main characters. However, that doesn't guarantee that they will all make it through the games. I also want to clarify something else. A lot of fans are curious about why players like Namgyu aren't featured on the posters. I'd like to highlight that the ones shown on the posters are the main characters for this season. However, it's important to remember that the show currently has other important side characters like Namgyu, Minsu, Player 100, and the Shaman Lady. They definitely aren't overlooked. I just want to reassure you that their chances of survival are less likely. Plus, we have other characters with their own storylines, such as Player 246, Guard number 11, and Detective Jun Ho. Now let me tell you my opinion on each character, starting with the ones on posters. Number 1, the Frontman. His poster has this beautiful background which many fans claim is part of a game location, suggesting In-ho might return as a participant, possibly as a masked guard. But don't be fooled. The background is actually taken from the VIP hall for this season. As you can see, both images feature this same design. I believe the Frontman will be very busy this season. His poster carries the caption, "The mask can only hide so much." The phrase is a metaphor that means you can only conceal your true feelings, identity, actions, or intentions to a certain extent, but eventually what's underneath, whether it's emotions, flaws, truths, or vulnerabilities, will show through or be discovered. Honestly, this fits In-ho perfectly. It's likely he has been trying to be someone he's not, hiding sadness, anger, and deep secrets behind his mask. The message hints that in Season 3, more of his true identity, motivations, and emotions will be exposed. The mask won't be enough to fully conceal who he is anymore. Now, with that context, let's revisit the most recent trailer. In one moment, we see Gi-hun in a suit being led into a particular room. In my previous video, I said this looked like a dinner scene, but I was wrong. The room he enters isn't a typical dining room, it's the Frontman's hall, as shown by its distinctive walls and lighting. We also see In-ho removing his mask, intercut with his voice asking Gi-hun if he still have faith in people. This will be a pivotal moment where the Frontman finally reveals himself to Gi-hun, much like Il-nam and Gi-hun's face-to-face encounter in the Season 1 finale. The scene will be significant because In-ho will get to challenge Gi-hun's trust in humanity. That's why we only see Gi-hun in the suit here. It's not because he's the sole survivor, but because this will be a one-on-one meeting with In-ho that will happen after the games. But what will happen to In-ho anyway? I have 2 predictions. First, we will get his backstory that tells he was once a good person with a valid reason to enter the games, like many of the current participants. Over time, the intensity of the games, his selfish friends, and Il-nam's twisted philosophy brainwashed him into believing that humanity is wicked and undeserving of trust. If the show gives In-ho this redemption arc, he could reclaim his faith in people, but only if Gi-hun succeeds in proving him wrong this time. On the other hand, if In-ho cannot find a reason to change his perception of humanity, then he should meet the same fate as Il-nam. But between the two, his redemption would be better, as it would make Gi-hun's character more significant overall. Here's the thing, there isn't much In-ho has left to live for. His wife is dead, and at this point the only thing left is to sort things with his mom and his brother Jun-ho before he dies, if he has to. And that's why his death alone isn't enough to make Gi-hun's story meaningful. If In-ho dies without changing, without at least questioning what he's become, then the entire emotional weight of Gi-hun's Season 2 and 3 journey risks falling flat. It becomes pointless. Gi-hun came back to fight for something, to prove that humanity isn't beyond saving. If even In-ho, someone who knows what it's like to be a player, can't be reached, then what was the point of Gi-hun's fight? For the story to land with real impact, In-ho needs to show that spark, even if it's too late to save himself. And while Squid Game is dark, it's never been about hopelessness. It's about showing how hard it is to hold on to your humanity, and why it's worth trying. If the frontman chooses to change even if he still dies, that makes Gi-hun's character deeply meaningful. It proves that his belief in humanity, that people can still do the right thing, wasn't naive. Now, some people say the game organizers and the VIPs are fair. After all, the players vote to leave, and many choose to come back. But that's exactly the point. Squid Game is showing us how systems of power create the illusion of choice. The vote doesn't redeem the VIPs or the organizers, it exposes them. They use this fake sense of fairness to justify their cruelty, telling themselves, we didn't force anyone. But in reality, the players are trapped by poverty, debt, and hopelessness. And that's the deeper message. Even when you wrap a brutal system in a vote or a rulebook, it's still a machine built on exploitation. So, the VIPs aren't getting any redemption either. Now, I want to apologize to you. I did say I would cover all the remaining character fates in this video, but honestly, I realized it would take me days to do it properly. So I'll have to continue this in my next video, which is coming very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you there.